Welcome to another Seidokan Saturday. I'm actually doing this early with a student here. So last week I said we were going to move on to Yakusoku Kumite, but before I do that, I wanted to have a little bit of a review of the one-step sparring and show you. So Mr. David Nelson, camera, is going to join me, and I'll actually be his attacker to show you. I will play the uke, he will play the tori, and he's using single defensive counters at this level. This is basically what he would do to test for his orange belt, which is upcoming in a month, and apply single step counters. Now again, the reminder is one step sparring. It means that at this point I'm only going to come in with one attack and he's going to stop me. As we advance, we come in with one attack and I might try to follow up, and in that case one step sparring means he's going to stop me before I get to take more than one step. So in a formal setting, it would look like this. We bow to each other. Onegai shimasu. Hey! Jodan! Hey! Hey! Up. Again. Jodan! Hey! Hey! Again. Jodan! So! Hey! Up. Again. Last time. Jodan! So! Now we go Chudan attack. Eight! Up. Chudan! So! Up. Chudan! Eight! Up. Now this time I'm going to try, spontaneous, to get a second attack in. Chudan! And so his counter interrupts my second attack. That's ideally where we want to go and increase realism. Last attack at this level, maigeri, front kick. Hey! Maigeri. Hey! Maigeri. Up. Last time. Hey! Up. Out. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. Hey. So that would be how a basic beginner level one-step sparring would look. Now, Yakusoku Kumite differs in this. Every system of martial art that I've studied, from jiu-jitsu, judo, even high school wrestling as I coached, kempo, Seidokan, Shotokan, Shorin-ryu, every school, taekwondo, every school I've been in has certain techniques that not only are approached in a one-step manner, but they teach principles. And so they are set. Yakusoku means promise or prearranged. So a promise technique or a prearranged technique looks a lot like this same Ippon Kumite format, except that each technique is predetermined and teaches specific concepts. So for our purposes, for example, in Seidokan, we have the basic 11. Each of these 11 techniques teach a concept or a principle which can then be extrapolated. And in Seidokan in particular, these 11 techniques I consider to be what we would call irimi, or entry techniques. They're a way to get the attack interrupted and then put me in a position for follow-up. Okay? So the follow-up concept comes as we advance. At first we want single step, strong counter. Yakusoku, we have a prearranged technique. In Kempo systems, I have pages, I have hundreds that I wrote down at a certain point. The Ed Parker system has hundreds of techniques, and other of his offshoot Kenpo systems brag about, oh, we have more techniques and more techniques. And memorizing hundreds of techniques is a really strange concept, because then you have to file through your catalog, where if we can learn from the Yakusoku concepts and principles, then we can apply those in a more spontaneous manner. So starting next week, we'll look at a couple of, now I maintain, in addition to the Seidokan 11, I maintain the Kempo Yakusoku, which in our Shaolin Kempo system were first called combinations, then they were named defensive maneuvers. They basically amount to prearranged fighting techniques, And as Kempo means fist law, they're all designed to be against a straight punch for the most part. And then they can, with those concepts and principles, we can move to a club or an attack or a knife or a grab or use them in a variety of situations, but they're learned against the punch. In Seidokan, the basic 11, we have some attacks with a straight punch, some attacks to the face, an attack with a kick, and so these same basic attacks are used for our Seidokan basic 11. Next week, we will look at specific Seidokan Yakusoku techniques and possibly some Kempo techniques. I hope that was helpful in some way. Again, we thank Mr. Nelson for helping me out tonight. And until next Saturday, thank you for joining us and keep practicing.